Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you, my dear beautiful girls? Inshallah, today I'm going to help you understand the lesson about social and the political changes in the Middle East. Last time, or in unit 3, lesson 3, we studied how the environment changes by people, and by nature. Today, inshallah, we are going to discuss social and political changes and what do they mean. Okay, let us start. Here we have two maps for the same place, which is the Middle East. And I want you to look carefully at the two maps and try to say what are the differences between these two maps. Here we have these two maps. The first map is for the Middle East. It's divided into only two colors, the dark red and the dark green. The dark red means the Ottoman Empire and the dark green means the Safavid Empire. But this means that the Middle East was controlled only by two big empires in the year 1600. It means about 400 years ago. But this one is divided into so many colors. Here we have Egypt for one color, different color for Yemen, a different color for Saudi Arabia, Oman, Iraq, Turkey, Iran, and so on. So we have so many different colors. But here we have the same land and the same bodies of water. The Red Sea is here and the Red Sea is here. The Arabian Sea is here, the Arabian Sea is here. The Mediterranean Sea, the Mediterranean Sea. The land is the same, the seas are the same, the rivers are the same, but the land is divided differently. Why? Let us discuss why is this. And why do we have different divisions like that for land? Okay, let us discuss. On maps from a long time ago, the shapes of the countries look quite different. The natural shape of the land stays the same for thousands of years, but the political borders change as people divide up the land differently. What's the meaning of political borders? The political borders are the lines that divide the countries and separate the countries. These political borders here, political borders only between the Ottoman Empire and the Safavid Empire, but here we have more borders between each country. We have political borders. Why do we have political borders and why do they change? Because people divide up the land differently, as you can see. So if I asked what are borders, the answer is edges of countries. The borders are edges of countries, or the edge of a country, the edges of a country. Why do they change? Because people divide up the land differently. Again, the two questions here. Let us apply the two questions here. Can you see the white lines that separate the countries from each other? We call them political borders. What are the borders? Edges of countries. So look at this country, Egypt. This white line is a border. This is another border. So Egypt has only two borders, this one and this one, because in the north we have the Mediterranean Sea and in the east we have the Red Sea. So here and here are borders. These borders change. In this map we do not have these borders, but here we have these borders. Why do they change? Because people divide up the land differently. Now, people move around. The movement of people from one place to another is called migration. Again, what is migration? It is the movement of people from one place to another. Why? Why do people move from one place to another? In the past, people never settled in one place and they kept moving around from one place to another in search of food and water. But there are different reasons why people migrate these days. Try to write some of them. If you look at the student book page 94, you can find a lot of these reasons. On page 94, you can find a lot of these reasons. Because people can, again, we can write here 3. You can find 3 and more in page 94. We can say that they may move to find work or new opportunities. Sometimes people have to leave their own country to escape war or natural disasters. Also, some people, like the Bedouin tribes in the Middle East, they are nomadic. They never stay in one place like the people in the past. The people who live in tents and usually keep camels and goats. So it means that they do not settle in one place. They move from one place to another in search of food and water. So to escape wars or natural disasters, to find better work or educational opportunities, also to in search of food and water. So these are reasons why people migrate from one place to another. If you look carefully at this map can show you the world migrations, how people move from one place to another. The green arrow, it means that people move from Europe to other countries, the red one from Africa to other countries, the orange color from here to here, the dark green from here to here. So people keep moving like this. If you think carefully about yourselves, most of us here in Medina are not from Saudi Arabia. We moved from other countries and came here to Medina for better work opportunities, or even to find better schools or better opportunities for life. So people will keep moving from one place to another, but not in the same way like the early people in the past. So what do we call the movement of people from one place to another? It's called migration. Now today, we are going to talk about the change of the lifestyle of people from rural life to urban life. What's the meaning of rural or urban? Rural life is life in villages or in the countryside, and it is a simple life, like this picture. This is the rural life. When people live in a small village like that, a very simple life, they grow their own crops and they keep animals. So we call this type of life rural life. But the city life, in which the people live together in crowded places, in tall buildings where they can find a lot of traffic, a lot of cars, a lot of shops, we call this urban life. In the past, all life in the world was rural life. After some time, the rural life changed to be an urban life again. So the rural life is life in villages or in the countryside, but and it is a simple life. Urban life is city life. Urban life is city life, and it is not simple at all. These two pictures can show us the difference between the rural life and the urban life. The rural life, simple life in villages or on farms. Urban life, the life in the city or the city life. Urbanization is the growth of cities and built areas. So when cities grow and become bigger with more buildings, this is called urbanization. This is called urbanization. In the last 200 years of human history, cities have become bigger and bigger. For example, in the year 1900, it means about 1,000 years ago. Less than about 200 years ago, or less than 200 years ago. Now we are in the year 2021. About 121 years ago, only 13% of people on earth lived in cities. So the number of the people in cities was not too much, and towns. But today, more than 52% of the people of the earth live in cities. Oh my God, more than half of the people of the earth live in cities. Can you see how much the people in the cities grew and how much the cities become bigger? The growth of cities is known as urbanization. So what is urbanization? Again, it is the growth of cities and built areas. Why did this happen? Why cities started to become bigger, and why did more people start to live in the city? There are 6 factors or reasons that have helped the growth of the cities. What are they? First of all, the invention of electricity. When electricity was invented for the first time, this invention helped to change the style of the people, of people's lives. To the inventions of machines. When people started to have machines, they started to make everything by machine. They started to change their life from the rural life into the urban life. The growth of factories. So factories started to grow more with more machines. Also, economies built on trade and business. The rural life depends on growing crops. People used to grow their own food in rural life, but in the urban life, they depend on trade and business. Also, new technology that allowed us to build modern buildings like airports, like stations. Also, modern forms of transport like cars, trains, aeroplanes. All these things helped the cities to grow more and attracted people to move from villages to live in the city, to enjoy all these things. But is urbanization or the growth of cities good or bad for the environment? Of course, it is very bad. Here we are going to discuss the environmental impact of urbanization, or the bad effects of urbanization on the environment. First of all, when cities grow with more factories, with more traffic, the environment has become polluted. And this caused rising sea levels threatens coastal cities and islands. The cities on the coast and the islands are in danger of being covered by the seawater. Rainforests could be gone in 50 years because everyday people cut forests in order to build cities and build factories. the rainforests are going to be or are going to disappear. We call this deforestation. Also, global warming gets faster. Of course, you know what is global warming? It means that the earth is getting warmer every year because we started to have a lot of carbon dioxide. Stress levels rising in overcrowded cities. What's the meaning of stress? People are stressed. They face troubles and problems. Their life has become so fast. All this causes stress. Natural disasters increasing. Not only 5 problems or 5 bad effects of urbanization on the environment, you can find more bad effects in your student books pages 96 and 97. In fact, or in conclusion, we can say that rural life was much better than urban life. I hope that you understand this lesson, and goodbye till we meet again. By the way, this sheet is uploaded on Classera. You can find it and study the lesson from this sheet.